As protests in Iran continue and Iranian authorities issued coordinated warnings to protesters, a doctor and medic at two hospitals told the BBC their facilities were overwhelmed with injuries. One doctor said a Tehran eye hospital had gone into crisis mode, while the BBC also obtained a message from a medic in another hospital saying it did not have enough surgeons to cope with the influx of patients. On Friday, U.S. President Donald Trump said Iran was in big trouble and warned, "You better not start shooting, because we'll start shooting too." Iran, in a letter to the UN Security Council, blamed the U.S. for turning the protests into what it called violent subversive acts and widespread vandalism. Anti-government protests, which continued on Friday, have taken place in dozens of locations, with two human rights groups reporting at least 50 protesters have been killed. The BBC and most other international news organizations are barred from reporting inside Iran, and the country has been under a near-total internet blackout since Thursday evening, making obtaining and verifying information difficult. A doctor from Iran, who contacted the BBC via Starlink satellite internet on Friday night, said Farabi Hospital, Tehran's main eye specialist center, had gone into crisis mode, with emergency services overwhelmed. Non-urgent admissions and surgeries were said to have been suspended, and staff called in to deal with emergency cases. The BBC also obtained a video and audio message from a medic in a hospital in the southwest city of Shiraz on Thursday. The medic said large numbers of injured people were being brought in, and the hospital did not have enough surgeons to cope with the influx. He claimed many of the wounded had gunshot injuries to the head and eyes. A health worker at another hospital in Tehran also told the BBC that their patients included gunshot wound victims. Since protests began on 28 December, at least 51 protesters, including 7 children and 21 security personnel, have been killed, according to the US-based human rights activist news agency, Hrana. More than 2,311 individuals have also been arrested, the group reported. The Norway-based Iran Human Rights, IHR NGO, said at least 51 protesters, including 9 children, had been killed. BBC Persian has verified the identities of 26 killed protesters, including 5 children. Iranian police maintained that no one was killed over Friday night in Tehran, though they said 26 buildings were set on fire, with damage to property very extensive. United Nations Secretary-General spokesperson Stefan Dujarric said the UN was very disturbed by the loss of life. People anywhere in the world have a right to demonstrate peacefully, and governments have a responsibility to protect that right and to ensure that that right is respected, he said. French President Emmanuel Macron, UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer, and German Chancellor Friedrich Merz released a joint statement that said, "The Iranian authorities have the responsibility to protect their own population and must allow for the freedom of expression and peaceful assembly without fear of reprisal." Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, remained defiant in a televised address on Friday, saying, "The Islamic Republic came to power through the blood of several 100,000 honorable people, and it will not back down in the face of those who deny this." Later, in remarks made to a gathering of supporters and broadcast on state television, Khamenei reiterated the message, saying Iran will not shirk from dealing with destructive elements. By contrast, the son of Iran's last Shah, Reza Pahlavi, described the protests on Friday as magnificent, and urged Iranians to stage further targeted protests over the weekend. "Our goal is no longer just to take to the streets. The goal is to prepare to seize and hold city centers," Pahlavi said in a video message on social media. Pahlavi, who is based in the US, said he was preparing to return to the country,